What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at a strong and unique team for the Great League Remix Cup. This team has helped me climb nearly 200 ELO in about 12 sets. It's been really good for me, very consistent, so I decided it's about time that I make another video. It's been a while, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the team. On the lead, I am running Shadow Gligar, not Spicy in any matter. As my safe swap, I am running Shadow Quagsire, and it is with a bit of a unique moveset. I'm running Mudshot, Mud Bomb, and Stone Edge. I think Mud Bomb is an absolute must in this meta if you're using this as a safe swap, because there is a lot of Poliwrath out there, and you do not want those Poliwrath to be able to just farm you down. With Mud Bomb, you can grab shields and force them to throw energy. Now, Stone Edge, I don't know if that's a necessity. You could run Aqua Tail over Stone Edge if you prefer that. Stone Edge has been nice to threaten some flyers, but I think Aqua Tail puts in a lot of work as well. Finally, as my closer, the MVP of the team is going to be a Shadow TYPHLOSION. Give this thing a shield advantage and it just goes crazy in this meta, and you're going to see it. There's going to be tons of games in this video that it's sweeping or at least taking out 2/3 of a team. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on into the video. Go ahead and drop that like. Alright, Shadow Gligar into Jellicent. Now I did want to make sure that I featured as many core breaker leads as I could in this video. Jellicent's going to be the first of them. Of course, Jellicent has access to Surf that it gets to very quickly, which hits both Gligar and TYPHLOSION for super effective. And Quagsire is not exactly a hard wall to Jellicent either. So I am going to grab a shield with the dig, and then I'm going to try to catch a Surf on Quagsire. I don't catch, but they do end up throwing the Surf anyways. And then I decided to go ahead and just no shield here as well, knowing that they could always swap out if I did shield up a Shadow Ball right there, and then I'd just be at shield parity and I'd still have to deal with this Jellicent. So I'd rather have shield advantage, even if that meant I was completely sacrificing my Quagsire. They ended up baiting with another Surf, which is great for me. I'm going to go ahead and let this Surf go through. Again, keeping that shield advantage, I know I can come in with my Mantine and I can outpace the Aerial Ace before they make the next Surf. They need 3 hexes to Surf. And I'm able to get this Aerial Ace just before that 3rd hex goes through. They actually throw over shield, which really surprised me. That tells me they're definitely weak to Gligar. But I also know TYPHLOSION with 2 shields is just crazy. So I'm going to go ahead, swap in my TYPHLOSION. They come in with Lucario. We just fast move it down with Incinerate. What is going to be in the bag? It's going to be a Registeel, and this game is just over. TYPHLOSION going to be able to sweep after we see one of the worst leads we could possibly see for this team. And I didn't even use a shield this entire battle. So yeah, Jellicent leads definitely very playable. All right, moving into a much more positive lead. Steelix. One of the things I really like about this team is it is triple strong into steel types. Not a ton of steel types in the Open Great League, but in Great League Remix they are pretty common. So you're going to be able to win all of those steel leads. Gligar is your worst answer of the 3 since Dig does not one-shot, but regardless, I was able to grab a shield there. I come in with my Quagsire, and yes, I'm coming in with Quagsire, which is going to get debuffed, but if they're running Steelix, they certainly have an answer for Quagsire. A lot of the teams I've seen have been ABA or ABB weak to TYPHLOSION, meaning there's at least 2 Pokemon weak to TYPHLOSION. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of just sack my Quagsire, try to lure out something that might give TYPHLOSION some problems. Like a water type, for sure. And that's exactly what we do right here. Now, I think I made a bit of a misplay. Throwing that Mud Bomb into this Mantine could have cost me, because after throwing the Mud Bomb, they could have just undercharged their Aerial Ace and got a farm down and threatened a shield back for me. They did not do that, which is great for me. So now I'm able to grab the second shield with that Dig or KO their Steelix. They decided to go ahead and throw up their second shield. I am going to shield this up because it did have potential to be a crunch. Still, I'm going to be able to farm down before they make it to a second Fangs. And yeah, with this energy, there's not much that wants to see TYPHLOSION, especially not a Shadow along with Ninetales. Alright, moving into the next one, another positive lead with the Shadow Poliwrath. However, you do have to be very careful with these since Poliwrath with energy can threaten the Gligar. Come in with Sableye. I don't really have a great answer for Sableye, so I stay in. I think I'm making a bit of a misplay in this one. I should have just done the Aerial Ace before they got to their foul play. After that, I could have just incinerated down with TYPHLOSION. I would have left with Thunder Punches. I probably would have only had to give up 1 shield, and look at this. I'm giving up 1 shield anyways because they were going to make it to that foul play. Now, The Poliwrath does come back in. We do have a little bit of an energy lead, so we're going to be able to throw this Thunder Punch into them immediately. It grabs a shield. And I throw this one at bad timing. I wasn't ever going to make a third Thunder Punch anyways. I wanted to make sure I got it off before they threw the Icy Wind. However, they double shield, and now this Poliwrath has a ton of energy. Still, I'm only one wing attack away from the Aero Ace, so I'm hoping I can get that off. Even if it's debuffed and it doesn't kill, I'm okay with that. But they make a really nice catch here onto their Cofagrigus. I'm going to be swapping out immediately into my Quagsire, and I'm thinking that this is still a win. I'm thinking I can shield this up, build up to 100 energy, Stone Edge the Cofagrigus, and then just Mud Bomb the Poliwrath. So that's my plan. Build to 100 energy. I go for the Stone Edge. This will be taking out the Cofagrigus. I have the Mud Bomb ready to go. I throw it immediately. Shadow on Shadow. I'm thinking this will take out, but no, that Poliwrath is just a bit more healthy than I thought it was. And my opponent has just managed their energy so well right here. They're going to be able to throw the Dynamic Punch into my Quagsire and have an Icy Wind ready to go for my Gligar as well. I just realized that I have Gligar misspelled up there, so I'm going to fix that. I'm sure 10 people have already commented at this point in the video, letting me know. Boom. It was never wrong. Never wrong. Everybody in the comments that sees those comments, make sure you let them know it was never wrong. Anyways, all right, Quagsire lead. Quagsire lead is one of the toughest leads if they're running Aqua Tail. This one seems to be running Stone Edge. But I'm going to talk through. I don't think I actually ended up putting in an Aqua Tail lead, so I'm going to go ahead and talk through. If it is the Shadow, I bait with Aero Ace. If it's not the Shadow, I go straight for the Dig. Normally the non-Shadows do let the Dig go through. Normally the Shadow shield. So, and then I honestly don't like to shield my Gligar. I just come in with my Quagsire, and they'll be in Mud Bomb range at that point, which is basically the scenario here. And worst case scenario, if you end up with a shield advantage, Typhlosion can handle this. Alright, so they go for the Mud Bomb here. They're also running the same moveset as I am. They try to make a really nice catch right there. I do not fall for it, so I'm going to be able to fire off this Stone Edge, grab the final shield from my opponent. And if you haven't noticed anything this far in the video, just know Typhlosion up shields is just... And up 2 shields, it's basically unstoppable against anything besides a Carbink, I would say. So at this point, we're just going to double shield. I know this is only an Aero Ace. It really just doesn't matter at this point, though. We can build to 100 energy, go for the Thunder Punch, double super effective, easily taking out the Mantine and the Blast Burn. Resisted, but going to be playing to take out a Shadow Quagsire, even from half health. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. I'm moving to the next one. Gligar into Deoxys Defense. They always stay in at least to throw 5 counters and Psycho Boost. This one is going above 5, so I'm expecting them to go to 10 and then double Psycho Boost. If that's the case, I will shield the first one. If they just throw 5 in Psycho Boost, I normally don't shield. You could. I don't think there's a problem with it. I just know my back 2 Pokemon like having the shield advantage. This one actually builds up to 12 counters, throws a Rock Slide and then a Psycho Boost. So I'm going to throw 4. I throw 4 wing attacks. That way, if they shield this, I can throw my second Aero Ace as well, which they're not going to do. I'm out with a Shadow Charizard, which has, I'll admit, I think that's a really good pick in this meta. I'm going to bring in my Quagsire, act like I have Aqua Tail. I don't. But they're going to swap out before I get there. They bring some energy. They bring in Slurpuff, and I have definitely seen some really cool picks in this meta. This is one of my favorites. Slurpuff has Energy Ball, Flamethrower, Play Rough, so really good coverage on this Pokemon, but all the moves are fairly expensive, so that's the reason you don't see it very often. I knew I wasn't going to be able to Mudshot it down, so I do come in with Typhlosion. I get the Incinerate down, and at this point, I'm praying for a Dragon Claw. It's a Blast Burn, but Typhlosion survives regardless. We get this Thunder Punch off. Now it comes down to, can Gligar survive the wing attacks to get to the back-to-back Aero Aces? We are 1 shy right now. Aero Ace number 1, grabbing the shield, and at 1 HP, Gligar is going to be able to get off this Aero Ace. So it took 2 1 HP survives, but we were able to take this game. Moving into the next one. This game, we do have some lag, and it's self-inflicted. You're going to see it here in just a minute. I don't want to talk so much about the lag as I want to talk about the plays. in the battle. So yeah, I mean, I was saving a video there. That's the reason we have lag. So they outpace. It's fine. Giratinas. I never shield. I just never ever shield because they've all baited me so far. If they do throw the Shadow Ball, you will survive and you will get the dig off. And so like, no matter what, you're getting some sort of advantage. Because they're going to shield the dig. They're going to shield the dig, and then you can come in with Quagsire and handle it there. Since they got the boost, I decide to get out, and I bring in my Quagsire. I come out with a Superior. Not something we want to see. At least we have Stone Edge to do some nice chip damage. I'm going to bring back in the Gligar just to force them to dump energy, and then I'm going to farm down with my Typhlosion. I'm hoping I can farm down before they get to a move, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make a move here. They're going to make a move, and I'm thinking it's a non-stab arrow. It's not going to do too much damage, but they actually go for the harder hitting Frenzy Plant, and it just does way too much damage. So now I got Typhlosion with 2 shields, and it is a Registeel in the back, which is the best case scenario. But here's the real misplay. If I go Thunder Punch, I should be able to make a 3rd Thunder Punch. I'd be able to get 2 Thunder Punches into this Giratina, and the Registeel is never going to make 2 moves. I would be able to incinerate it down. Instead, I throw the Blast Burn, and then we just get farmed down by the Giratina, and that's GG's. So a couple misplays on my part cost me that game, but regardless, GG's, and well played to my opponent. All right, Tapu Fini lead. Probably the toughest core breaker on paper, at least. I will say, I think I've seen 3 Tapu Finis, 2 of them in the lead and 1 in the back, and I do think that I was able to pull wins against all 3. So don't just top left if you see Tapu Fini. That's my point in that. I'm not just trying to brag. I'm trying to let you know there is hope, and you're going to see it right here. So they throw here on CMP. This can only be an ominous win. And my goal here is to get them shields down. That way I can throw Thunder Punches, I can throw digs, whatever else I need to throw into that Giratina. They do throw up their 2nd shield. I'm going to be able to come in here with Gligar, outpace, get this dig off into this Tapu Fini. Not going to one-shot, but does put them into the red. At this point, I am thinking to myself, yes, I could try to wing attack this down, but then I have a Typhlosion with no shields. I would rather have a Typhlosion up energy with a shield that can farm down this Tapu Fini and hopefully 2 incinerates. And yes, we're going to be able to do it in 2 incinerates. We do take a ton of damage, but Typhlosion up a shield and up energy is nuts. Y'all have seen it so far. What's going to happen here? Tina comes back in. We're going to do 1 incinerate and throw the Thunder Punch to get rid of this Giratina, keeping our energy lead against whatever is in back. And it's going to be a Sableye. We are 2 incinerates away from the Blast Burn, and you know this is absolutely one-shotting the Sableye. So GG's. Well played to my opponent. Typhlosion is just so much fun. It's like I get excited watching back these battles because it's just fun, right? And the goal of a game is to have fun. So to have a fun team that actually worked really well, I just get excited about it. Anyways, another Deoxys lead. I did try to feature mostly different leads. I did want to include this one because my team's not super bulky, but I did want to show how much play you do still have against very bulky teams, of which this is one of the bulkiest ones that I faced. They'll bring in Double. I think Double is probably an underrated pick in this cup currently. They're going to be able to get the Body Slam off here. They're 2 away from their next Body Slam. I'm going to throw 2 Mud Shots and then throw. It's not optimized timing, but I don't expect them to shield this. I don't want to throw on CMP because I don't know who wins that. And yeah, we're getting rid of them with the Mud Bomb anyways. So Deoxys comes back in. I decide to go ahead and just go for the Mud Bomb there. Because if they shielded the Stone Edge, they could just counter me down. So I'm going to just go straight Mud Bomb. I might be able to make another Mud Bomb. I know I have that Arrow Ace banked as well. I'm trying to get to it. They actually end up swapping out into Umbreon. So they banked a ton of energy on their Deoxys. And they're coming in with Umbreon. Here's where Typhlosion, again, just up a shield. Even if it's not up energy, up a shield is just nuts. Because we're going to be able to throw a good timing here. All right, 1 Incinerate is 5 turns, 2 Snarls is 6 turns. That Snarl is a 3-turn move. Only gives them 1 free turn of energy. And I decided to go ahead and shield this up, knowing that the Deoxys either has to have Rock Slide, which I think most run Thunderbolt, or they're going to need to Psycho Boost take me out, because I'm pretty sure Psycho Boost does do more than Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt's for sure not doing it from here. Non-stab Thunderbolt, there's no chance it's taking out my Typhlosion. If we do survive, we're going to be able to just combo play here and get the arrow ace off, and that's going to be a GG's well played to my opponent. So actually able to 3-ball flex against one of the bulkiest teams that I've seen. I was very happy with that. All right, Mantine lead, definitely a core breaker. Gligar has a surprising amount of play into this, but regardless, I do decide to try to catch, and they don't throw their energy. So unfortunate, but we do lure out a Poliwrath here. I'd actually rather see Poliwrath here than on TYPHLOSION, just because the counters just shred through TYPHLOSION. And like I said earlier, we're going to be able to grab a shield here, and we're going to be able to force them to throw energy. Now they are at the back-to-back icy wins. So I'm going to try to predict them throwing the icy win immediately, especially since my Gligar has the arrow ace banked. But they do just that. I come in with TYPHLOSION. We're going to get a second Incinerate to have that nice energy lead. And then we're going to snipe with our Gligar. We weren't able to get the Incinerate down, which I would have preferred. But now they come in with the Gligar. We're going to be able to use all this energy we have into it. So arrow ace number 1 coming through. Arrow ace number 2 is not going to be lethal, but here's what it's going to do. It's going to prevent them from being able to bait and to get to their big move. Whether that be Ice Beam or Water Pulse, doesn't really matter. It's Water Pulse. They're going to be swapping out into a Shadow Steelix. And as soon as I threw this dig, I was kind of kicking myself, thinking I probably should have baited so that they'd be forced to throw energy. Now I'm forced to pivot, and if this is crunch, it's just GG's. In fact, Psychic Fangs might KO from here, but it doesn't. So we're going to be able to get off this Blast Burn thanks to all that energy we bait against the Poliwrath. Take out the Steelix. At this point, Mantine has no residual energy, so we're going to be able to get the wing attack down as well. So GG's well played to my opponent. All right, moving into one of the toughest leads. I don't know, maybe I said that about something earlier. Tapu Fini, I guess on paper is tougher, but the problem with Shadow Dragonite is they can just 2-shield and Dragon Breath your Gligar all the way down, and then you have no fast move pressure with either of the back 2 Pokemon. So here's what I do. I throw the first arrow ace. I try to throw it at times where they're not going to catch. It really doesn't matter. I haven't had a single one try to catch. I'm going to do 2 wing attacks after that next arrow ace because I need them to be in Mud Bomb range if they decide to stay here. We can tank 1 Dragon Claw, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. They swap out into a Greedent. And now I'm like, man, I still have to deal with that Dragonite. That's going to be 2 Incinerates to take it out that way. And this thing's just spammy, so it's a problem in its own right. I'm going to throw on CMP. We do get the Stone Edge to connect. Going to come in with Gligar, and again I throw on CMP, but they tap through, which really surprised me. I thought that they would throw the Body Slam immediately. So now we're forced to swap out into TYPHLOSION, and they have a Body Slam. I'm thinking I can outpace that Dragonite if I shield this up. They actually go Trailblaze for whatever reason. I guess just tough to react that fast. Back they have a Registeel, so all of a sudden I have play. They try to catch on their Dragonite, and I honestly wish I would have thrown, because now they get the Dragon Claw off. But TYPHLOSION hangs on, able to get this Thunder Punch off, and we are 1 Incinerate away from the Blast Burn. Can we make it there? Yes, TYPHLOSION with 1 HP, getting the Blast Burn off. Going to be able to take out this Registeel, and that's a GG's well played to my opponent. So yes, very happy with how this team has worked for me. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you've been running. Have you had any success in the Great League Remix Cup, or are you playing Ultra League? I love Ultra League. So I'm surprised I'm kind of skipping it right now, but I've really enjoyed the Great League Remix Cup myself. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.